Happy for our guys. I mean, I thought that there were a number of guys who kind of just were able to set the tone. I thought Emmanuel Okorafor's ability to O-board. I think at one point we were a plus 11 on the glass. And I just thought he was so assertive, especially early at keeping basketballs alive. I'm told that it's his first double-double, and he deserved it. He didn't finish fantastic, and he would be the first one to tell you that. But I just thought his assertiveness helped. And then, they had 16 points at that 12-minute mark there in the first half, and we were just not into the ball. Just thought that they were way too comfortable, and we were fortunate to only be down, I believe, at 1.4. And I thought Dre Kendall just flipped the switch for us. And I thought his tenacity, his ball pressure, just all of those things allowed us to kind of help ourselves defensively, because just wasn't a great offensive night. I know KG went 5 for 6 there in the second half, and that's one of those guys that you don't really worry about. But really proud of the kind of the effort. Just, I mean, for those of you who don't know, we didn't get back till really late after an East Carolina game. And to be honest, there wasn't much in the way of on the floor activity the past 48 hours. But I did think our guys were really focused, and we were able to come out against a Temple team. I don't know, to beat a team like that double digits is in my opinion, a heck of an achievement.
Coach, looking at the guy that's on your shirt right now.
Yeah.
To get a win like a guy for Mike.
Yeah, and Mike's been incredible. He's a professional. He's a gentleman, and there's a level of sensitivity that you deal with people. There's nobody who takes losses harder than the players in that locker room and coaches. And I tell people this: we probably spend somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 hours a day thinking about this. Probably 360 days out of the year. You're always thinking about something in regards. But my first year we weren't very good, and I think at one point we were like 2-11, and there was no difference in how he treated us. And then when we started off 1-7 last year before we won 6 in a row. And what I appreciate about people is that they're steadfast. I don't do well with the people that blow in the wind. I don't do well with people who can't envision the future. Don't do well with people who live under a darkness of doom. And that was never him. And, I go in there, you'd look him in the eye, you'd answer every question. But there's how you treat people matters. The people that are rude to the waitress are not nice people, and because those people can't do anything for you. And I appreciate Mike, his level of sensitivity, and it was one of those things where you were always asking, comparatively speaking, tell me about Coach Turgeon's first years. Tell me about Coach Marshall's first years. And I would try to gauge just how this process goes and rebuild. And, he's been extremely helpful. And you knew what it was record-wise, but you didn't know what it was like behind the scenes. And he's helped me tremendously to maintain a level of focus and for Shocker fans to have that privilege of being around a guy for 46 years, it's a testament and a tribute to him and just how well he does his job. He's kept his wife, so it's clear that he does a really good job of maintaining relationships. But he's obviously maintained one here, and he's invested and impacted a number of people.
More so to that, E-Man said that this team wanted to win for Mike. In your minds, this game will need a little bit more.
Well, the crowd helps. I just want to thank Shocker Nation for being here, and I know a lot of that had to do with celebrating just, 3 wonderful teams from 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago who won conference championships. And, I'm pretty familiar with the team 10 years ago. We were the team that Wichita State sent home Arizona. We were in the Providence airport with them when I was at Baylor because we had lost to Yale in our first round game. And I remember just, watching that particular night. And then at the same time, I've known PJ Cousinard a long time, just being from Houston, and so that Sweet 16 team where they turn around and beat Tennessee followed that. So it was great to see so many players who just contributed to the history here. And one of our players afterwards, after the game, said, "Are we the greatest team of all time?" And I'm like, "Guys, we won 3 in a row. We've got a long ways to go." So it's the one of the things that just draws fans here is the rich tradition. There's a heritage here, and so to be a part of that, but to be able to honor Mike tonight in conjunction with those teams, just it really makes it a special night. I would rather teach third grade than lose a game like tonight and have to live with that.
I know the conference tournament has been something that's been talked to death at this point, and the standings have been something that's kind of been talked a lot. But obviously, being in the position that you guys are in, and being able to be on this streak now that you have, where you've had 2 electric games and this one night in front of this crowd, take me through the overall mood of the team right now. I mean, how are the guys doing at this point?
I mean, hopefully they're just thinking about what recovery looks like. I mean, we have an off day tomorrow, and it's, well, again, well-deserved for those guys. But I just, again, I don't think you can, I've said this before, if you can get puffed up through praise, you can get crushed through criticism. So you better not pay attention to anything. When it doesn't go well, you better be able to stop those distractions. And when it does go well, you better be able to stop those distractions. And you just have to stay locked in on whatever's next. There's a long way to go. It's another 2 weeks before, we play Florida Atlantic, and that's 3 games from now. So, I mean, there's so much to get done between now and then before we ever have an opportunity to get to Birmingham. To be honest with you, I was worried about if we would even qualify. They only take so many teams. I'm like, have we distanced ourselves enough to where we're even in it? And so I just think you pay attention to the next thing, and you don't really get caught up in anything other than keeping your blinders on and staying focused.
It seems like KG is really good at the trailing behind the pack. Everybody goes ahead, and he just kind of like hides almost, and they throw that throwback pass. Can you tell me, like, is that a skill? Is that like an art to that? And just like, how good is he at that?
Yeah, I mean, after Florida Atlantic, where you only get 5 shots, I mean, we needed to install something to where just everything isn't set oriented. And I thought, obviously, you did a really good job last week of just being able to play with a 4. We've had scenarios where he's played with a 5 up top. And, give Temple credit for just how they approached it. I didn't think that from a dissecting standpoint from TJ and DB that we were doing the things necessary in order to help KG and play backside 4-on-3. But, I mean, you can't give him much room. Like, I mean, they started squeezing it, so, now our players need to navigate that and understanding how to slip out of it. But, I mean, he can shoot with the ball in his hands. He can shoot without the ball in his hands. He doesn't need a bounce. We can kind of move him around. But that's one of the huge pluses about KG is that he can be off it, he can be on it, and he can really impact the game offensively. And defensively, if you look, he consistently leads us in deflections. And if you ever notice, like, players are going to the goal and he'll poke it loose at the last time. And so there's value there on both ends of the court. And he's got incredible stamina. And to be able to do that, I've been around guys who've had a lot of stamina. And the stamina usually allows you to shoot well, simply because you have legs. And so I just think his ability to play with the ball and without it. And our players, I mean, we've shown our guys film. This is how we play. These are the things we have to do. And I think everybody gets it this time of year.
PJ Williams has been playing intensely these last few games. What have you noticed, or what has stood out in your opinion of his play?
Referee came over and said number 4 is crashing the boards too hard. And I was like, no such thing. And I appreciate that, And they told him kind of to calm down. And it was like, you better not, bro. You better stay turned up the whole time. And I think that was a huge compliment. And if we can get fouls that way, we'll be okay. We don't want to be timid. We'd rather be aggressive. And I thought we were trying to play a lot in transition, just trying to get opportunities in transition. He had the one there in the first half where he was pretty aggressive, and I just thought we were getting transition points via drags late. But I mean, T.J. Williams has had a heck of a week. And I don't think we would have won either of these two games without him. If you just look, I mean, he was a plus 19 at some point, but finishes a game a plus 17, and his impact was pretty obvious.
You mentioned those drags. Like on the flip side, when KG does have the ball and he's bringing it up, it seems like that's been working a lot. Can I explain just what makes him good in transition and why that's leading to good offense opposed to trying to get him open in the half court?
Yeah, I mean, there's a shiftiness there. Like, you don't know which way he's going. And then at the same time, I think that the bigs do a good job of flipping screens and changing angles. And then if you bring your big up in order to try to contest a shot, I mean, Will Berg and Emmanuel Okorafor can slip behind you and be able to grab an offensive rebound. So him shooting the ball just helps. I would tell you the spacing everywhere else on the court is a pretty good indicator also about how everybody understands, like, he needs space. The one thing I ask our players, I bet they could recite in unison, is what do good players want? And it's space. They need room in order to operate. So we call what we call race 26. You need to fill those corners within 26 on the shot clock. It's a race to 26. And I think the off-ball spacing, those guys really help him out. And again, one of the reasons we're pretty good at not turning the ball over is because, and we're a low assist team, but is because we have guys that we're not overthinking this. Shoot the ball. And if you're open, shoot the ball. And if you have capabilities like KG, we encourage it all the more. Thanks, guys.